In this video, I want to have a look at what's called buying on terms. So that means that somebody's paying for an item over a set period of time by making regular repayments. In a lot of cases, a deposit has to be paid first. Some companies will offer interest-free periods or repayment-free periods. And you've got to be careful because sometimes there's some hidden charges like establishment fees or account keeping fees. If the repayments aren't made on time, there might be extra charges as well, or the item may be repossessed, so they might come and take it back. So let's have a look at what this looks like with an example. So we've got a lounge is advertised for $2,400 cash, or on terms of a 10% deposit, plus monthly repayments of $99 for 2 years. So part A asks us how much more will the lounge cost if it's bought on terms. So the first thing we need to figure out is how much that deposit is that we're going to pay. Okay, so our deposit is 10% of the initial amount. So it's going to be 10%, so we can go 0.1 of that $2,400, which will come out to give us $240. Then we've got repayments of $99 per month for 2 years. So it's $99 per month for 2 years, so times 12 and then times 2. And that would come out to give us $2,376. So all up in total, we're going to be paying that $240 plus the $2,376, which would come out to be $2,616. So that's all up if we buy it on terms. So it's asked us how much more we'll end up paying. So we want to figure out the difference between that 2,616 and the initial 2,400. And we'll end up paying an extra $216. So that's our final answer there. All right, part B asks us what is the percentage flat rate interest charged per annum, correct to 1 decimal place. So this extra that we've paid, that's the interest that we've ended up paying. So with our simple interest formula, I equals, PRN, that's our interest now. So that's our 216. Our principal was the initial $2,400. Our rate is what we're trying to find, so we'll leave that as R. And our N is those 2 years. So if we simplify this side a little bit, the 2,400 times 2 would give us 4,800 times R. Then if we divide both sides by that 4,800, we'd end up with R is equal to 216 divided by 4,800, which will give us, I'll just move it over here, R is equal to 0.045. And if we write that as a percentage, it's 4.5%. So interest rate charged per annum was 4.5%. So that's just one example of the question involving buying on terms.